Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been so long since I've done a video. I'll explain later why that is. But today I'm starting something new here. It's a new series I'm going to have every week. It is going to be a Get Ready With Me and Talk About Medical Oddities series, or rare medical diseases, weird medical things. Just kind of inspired by my own rare medical diseases and conditions that I live with. So if that interests you, go ahead and stick around, see how I created this look, and learn a little bit about what affects me, just how I live my daily life. So here we go. Okay guys, so today I'm not really gonna do anything too crazy in terms of makeup looks, because I do plan on going to the gym later. So I'm just gonna do kind of just a very simple, easy, one of my favorite go-to everyday looks that I like to do. It's very glowy, and it's something I really just kind of do most of the time. I have prepped my face with my serums and my moisturizer and my face oil. Just gonna grab some primer here, and let's get into what this video is about, and that is tuberous sclerosis, which is the disease that I live with, and my 2-year-old also lives with it. Now, what is tuberous sclerosis? Well, it is a very rare multi-system genetic disorder that causes non-cancerous or benign tumors to form in the body's vital organs. So your brain, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your eyes, and it causes skin issues as well. It usually affects your central nervous system. So many people also have seizures, or they develop epilepsy along with this. And it can also cause autism. It's part of the autism spectrum. It's a very wide range to very mildly affected, which me and my daughter are very mild, on the mild part of the spectrum, to a much more severe affection. And it kind of presents in different ways with everybody that has it. So the symptoms I have may not be the same that somebody else has. So in terms of me, currently my brain, my kidneys, my lungs, and my skin are affected, which the formation on the skin is called angiofibromas, which you can see those here on my face, the redness and the texture and the bumps. I have self-tanner on, so it's less noticeable. So the way I was diagnosed with TSC was I had a seizure when I was a baby. I probably could have been diagnosed in utero like my daughter was. However, in the 80s, they really didn't do ultrasounds and stuff. So my mom really didn't have any ultrasounds. She didn't even know that I was a girl. So yeah, I was about a year old and I had a seizure, and that's when they diagnosed me with it. Now, I haven't had a seizure in about 9 years, thankfully, which is great. The seizure when I was a baby and the seizure I had 9 years ago, those are like the only two major seizures I've ever had. So that's definitely one thing I have to be thankful for. I have had some other symptoms such as like little ticks every now and then, but nothing that's too worrisome. My daughter, she had her first seizure. Um, let's see, when was that? It was so about a year ago, she had her first seizure. Um, and it's the only seizure that she has had. And she has been on medication, seizure meds, since then, and she's doing really great. And she is right on track with all of her development. Just very, very thankful that she seems to be doing great and is just a very happy, healthy toddler. I really, really wanted to show you guys my scans of my brain and my kidneys and my lungs, just to show you what my brain and how everything, I'm dealing with on the inside looks. But my husband, my doctor husband, I asked him if he could get, pictures of those for me. He has permission to access my files and stuff at his work. And he goes, there wouldn't be a good way to do it. And HIPAA. So he's a party pooper. So I'm just going to have to show you guys what kind of generally what my brain looks like from pictures from the internet. But I have a Sega subepidermal grand astrocytoma in my brain. It's just it's a fancy word for these specific tumors that are related to TSC, but I have one of those in my brain. I have these cysts, or these little pockets, blebs in my lungs, which I will talk about that a little later, what that's related to. And then I have the AMLs, or the angiomyolipomas, in my kidneys that are pretty freaking large. Like, whenever my doctors have seen them, they're like, oh, whoa, you got some pretty big tumors in your kidneys. Like, I don't know how you're like okay and like not peeing blood or anything, because yeah, this is crazy. But so TSC is estimated to affect 1 in 6,000 births. And globally, 1 million individuals have TSC, making it as common as cystic fibrosis or ALS. Approximately 2/3 of individuals that are diagnosed with tuberous sclerosis have no family history. Me, I was a mutation, but it can be inherited, i.e., I have it. My youngest daughter ended up getting that gene, but my oldest two are not affected. Growing up with it, I was bullied a lot. My angios on my face used to be a lot worse. They were a lot bigger. They were a lot redder up until about a year ago. This is what I look like. And that's because I started taking this medication to help my kidneys and my lungs and my brain. And in turn, that also helps to shrink and get rid of the angios on my face. But, growing up as a kid, I was bullied a lot for that, because kids are mean. And, at 8 years old, I looked a lot different than everybody else. And I was told I had acne, and kids would say I was contagious, or asked me if my face itched because my face looking at me was making their face itch. And I was pretty harshly bullied, even all the way through high school and even into my early 20s. But now, as a 32-year-old woman, I am stronger and I am more confident than ever. And I feel like that bullying just kind of made me a more compassionate person. Just try to stand up for what's right. And when I see, people being put down or oppressed or injustices happening, I really try to do my best now to use my voice and speak out, especially, just to kind of inspire anybody who looks like me or looked like me as a kid, to know that it does get better, and this is not going to define who you are as a person. And I even had laser surgery done on my angiofibromas when I was in like 6th grade. And it was like really, it was rough. I had to be put under for it. It was literally like a 3rd-degree burn on my face that had to heal. And still, it didn't get rid of all of them. And this was, 20 years ago. So, um, there's a lot more that they can do now for the angios, which is when I started taking this medication. It was like, oh my gosh, this is like a game changer because, I don't have to go through that physical pain again. That is the laser surgery and the recovery that goes with it. Now, if you want to talk about hitting the jackpot for rare diseases and just who would be so lucky not to only have one rare disease, but two? Well, you're looking at her. So not only did the universe say, oh, we're going to give you tuberous sclerosis, and all that comes with it, as if it didn't cause enough strife in my life. Then the universe decides that, why not put some more on my plate, and we're going to give you this super rare lung disease that only affects women, and it's called LAM, or wait for it, this is a tongue twister, lymphangioliomyomatosis. Oh yeah, it's a long one. So LAM is a rare progressive lung disease that mostly and exclusively affects women in their 30s and 40s or in their childbearing years. And it pretty much never occurs in men, like ever. So lucky you guys. So in LAM, there are normal or abnormal smooth muscle-like cells that begin to grow out of control in your lung tissues. So when I was talking about, I have these little blebs or these little cysts in my lungs, that is what those are from. And in my case, my LAM is linked directly to me having tuberous sclerosis. So this is like a 2-for-1 here. I think it's like maybe 30 or 40% of women with TSC will develop LAM, but not all women who have LAM have TSC, if that makes sense. So with LAM being a progressive lung disease, it leads to you having decreased lung function over time. And in the early stages of LAM, you can usually go about your daily activities and have no issues. Physical activity, like right now, I have no issues doing workouts and being active and having issues breathing at all. But as it gets more advanced, it becomes a lot harder for you to be able to do those same things. You may start to need supplemental oxygen to be able to, do your normal daily routine. As the LAM cells really start to invade your lungs, you're at the risk of having pleural effusions. I've had that. Or you could also have frequent pneumothoraxes or lung collapses, which I have had both of my lungs collapse at different times. and I've had to have surgery to repair that. Fun fact, my husband was actually a first-year medical student when he diagnosed me with my second lung collapse. And, eventually many women get to the point where the LAM has progressed so much that they actually need to have a lung transplant. And now, just like TSC, how I said that it has a very wide spectrum on how it affects people, it's the same for LAM. Some women have it, a really aggressive form of it, and experience really rapid progression, while others, it kind of just advances very slowly, which I feel in my case, I am on the very slow side or the very mild side of the spectrum, which I am very, very thankful for. And I know it really does sound super, super scary. And that's why I tell people who are diagnosed, don't Google, because Google is not your friend in this case, especially when it comes to medical conditions, because anxiety. Now, I firmly, firmly believe that I was actually misdiagnosed for about 10 years. It took 10 years for me to actually find a doctor that said, okay, you got LAM. We're pretty damn certain of that. So we're going to start you on these medicines so it doesn't progress any further. Because my first collapse, my lung collapse, I was pregnant with my oldest, and the doctor said, "Oh, it's just a spontaneous." There's thunder. It's just a spontaneous lung collapse, probably due to the stress of your pregnancy. It happened, whatever. Okay, but then I had that second one, and I. That's when I started to do more research, and I specifically asked them to biopsy my tissue when they removed my damaged part of my lung, and they said that they didn't find any signs of LAM cells in there. So I don't know. That last lung collapse was 7 years ago now. 7 years ago, something like that. Yeah, 7 years, sorry. It's been a long time. So all of those years I'd been, diagnosed with walking pneumonia, or all these different issues besides LAM, even though I was pretty 90% certain that I had it, and so was my husband. It just feels 100 times better having that formal diagnosis now, and having a team of doctors, amazing doctors, that are all like, yep, you have LAM, this is what we're going to do for you, and we're going to get it under control so you hopefully don't have any more issues. And so shout out to my team at the TSC clinic in Cincinnati, Ohio, because I love them and they're amazing. Now, the medication that I am on now, it is called sirolimus. And like I said in my intro, the reason why it's been so long since I've made a new video is because one of the side effects of that medication is it can cause mouth sores. And I don't get them very often, but when I do, they're really painful and it makes it really hard to talk. So that is pretty much why it took me so long to make another video after my last one, because I had the worst sore right on the tip of my tongue. And aside from all that, I'm pretty healthy. I work out 4 days a week, and the only issue that I have doing cardio is I don't like doing cardio. And that's it, guys. This is the finished look. Like I said, my very favorite low maintenance, very glowy, everyday kind of look. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, getting ready with me and learning a little bit about tuberous sclerosis and LAM, let me know in the comments below. If there is any specific medical oddity or rare medical disease that you would like me to talk about, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Really, I'm open to talking about everything and just trying to give some new perspective and more awareness on different kind of rare medical diseases that people live with. So if you have any ideas, just shoot them my way. And again, thanks so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye.